Today our topic is the philosophy of Epictetus in one video. Epictetus was a Stoic philosopher who lived a long time ago, but his ideas are still very helpful today. He taught us how to live a good life, even when things are hard. His philosophy is about focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot control. This is a simple idea, but it is not easy to do. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes we feel like we have no power over what happens to us. But Epictetus tells us that we always have power over one thing: our mind. Our thoughts, our choices, and our reactions are ours to control. Everything else, what other people do, what happens in the world, even our own bodies, is not fully under our control. If we try to control things we cannot change, we will feel frustrated and unhappy. But if we focus on what we can control, we will find peace and strength. Epictetus was born as a slave, and his life was not easy. But he did not let his circumstances define him. He believed that even in the worst situations, we can choose how we respond. For example, if someone insults you, you cannot control what they say, but you can control how you react. You can choose not to be upset by their words. This is a powerful idea because it means that no one can hurt you without your permission. Your happiness does not depend on what others do or say. It depends on how you think and act. This is why Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." One of the key teachings of Epictetus is the idea of distinguishing between what is up to us and what is not up to us. This is the foundation of Stoic philosophy. Things that are up to us include our opinions, our desires, our goals, and our actions. These are the things we can change. Things that are not up to us include the weather, other people's opinions, and the past. These are things we cannot change. When we focus on what is up to us, we feel empowered. When we worry about what is not up to us, we feel helpless. For example, if you are worried about what other people think of you, you are focusing on something that is not up to you. You cannot control their thoughts, but you can control how you behave and what kind of person you want to be. If you focus on being kind, honest, and hardworking, you will feel good about yourself, no matter what others think. Another important idea from Epictetus is the concept of Amor fati, which means love of fate. This means accepting everything that happens in life, even the bad things, as if you had chosen them yourself. This does not mean that you should not try to improve your life or avoid harm. It means that when something happens that you cannot change, you should accept it and find a way to learn from it. For example, if you lose your job, you can choose to see it as an opportunity to find a better one or to learn new skills. If you get sick, you can focus on taking care of yourself and appreciating the time you have. By accepting what happens, you stop fighting against reality, and this brings you peace. Epictetus also taught us to be careful about our desires and fears. He said that many of our problems come from wanting things we cannot have, or fearing things we cannot avoid. For example, if you want to be rich, you may feel unhappy if you do not achieve this goal. But if you focus on being content with what you have, you will feel happier. Similarly, if you fear losing something, you will feel anxious all the time. But if you accept that everything in life is temporary, you will feel more at peace. This does not mean that you should not have goals or try to protect what is important to you. It means that you should not let your happiness depend on things that are outside your control. One of the most famous teachings of Epictetus is the idea of the dichotomy of control. This is the practice of dividing everything in life into two categories: things you can control and things you cannot. When you face a problem, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is yes, then take action. If the answer is no, then let it go. For example, if you are stuck in traffic, you cannot control the traffic, but you can control how you react. You can choose to stay calm and listen to music, or you can choose to get angry and frustrated. The situation is the same, but your reaction makes all the difference. This practice helps you to focus your energy on what really matters and to avoid wasting time on things you cannot change. Epictetus also believed in the importance of self-discipline. He said that if you want to be free, you must first learn to control yourself. This means being disciplined in your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions. For example, if you feel angry, you should not act on that anger. Instead, you should take a moment to think about why you are angry and how you can respond in a better way. If you feel lazy, you should push yourself to do what needs to be done. Self-discipline is not easy, but it is the key to living a good life. It helps you to stay focused on your goals and to avoid being controlled by your emotions. Another important lesson from Epictetus is the idea of living in accordance with nature. This means living in a way that is true to your own values and to the natural order of the world. For example, if you value honesty, you should always be honest, even when it is difficult. If you value kindness, you should always be kind, even to people who are not kind to you. Living in accordance with nature also means accepting the natural cycles of life, such as birth, growth, and death. Everything in life has a beginning and an end, and this is something we cannot change. By accepting this, we can live more peacefully and appreciate the time we have. Epictetus also taught us to be humble and to remember that we are not perfect. He said that we should always be willing to learn and to improve ourselves. No matter how much we know, there is always more to learn. No matter how good we are, there is always room for improvement. This attitude of humility helps us to stay open-minded and to grow as individuals. It also helps us to be more understanding and compassionate toward others, because we realize that everyone is trying to do their best, even if they make mistakes. In conclusion, the philosophy of Epictetus is about finding peace and strength by focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It is about accepting what happens in life and finding a way to learn from it. It is about being disciplined, humble, and true to our own values. These ideas may seem simple, but they are not easy to live by. They require practice and effort. But if we can follow the teachings of Epictetus, we will find that we can face any challenge with courage and grace. We will find that we have the power to create a good life, no matter what happens around us. This is the wisdom of Epictetus, and it is a wisdom that can guide us through all the ups and downs of life.